Do I have to? Like, do I actually have to? Realistically, do I actually have to? I feel like I just want to go to sleep. Honestly, I just want to go to bed. And I feel like you do as well. This is going to be the most difficult match review I think I've ever done. Because at least when we lose, and there's big reasons to lose, at least I can come on here and talk about what happened. Nothing happened. So I've got to give this review over nothing. There's nothing to analyse. This game was, I mean, if you saw our reaction on Shootout, we were talking about paint, we were talking about cats, we were talking about who to blame, and we started plucking out all sorts of names, including Ant and Dec. We were talking about all sorts of things to fill the time because nothing was happening. Matisse, I saw, was vacuuming his room during the game. Shout out Matisse, I hope your room's clean. I can only focus on one thing during this whole match review tonight, right? Only one. There's one thing to properly focus on. And you know what that is? I've got to speak to the players here. I've got to speak to the team. Because I don't get it. I don't understand. I genuinely do not understand, right? I don't understand how a game like this, where two things were on the table. We'd lost to Leeds 3-1 and performed in the way that we did, which was a shambles, right? So there was a point to prove to try and rectify that, right? That should be enough for you to come out and let's go, yeah? Right, so that's one. Two, we're talking about a title race and we're talking about being in that race at the minimum, right? Not to say we're going to go all the way and definitely win it. That would be delusional. But to be able to say, let's put ourselves in that conversation and take it as far as we can, then who knows, right? But to do that, you've got to remain close. Well, guess what happened earlier on? Because me and George done that watch along, and it wasn't just the Chelsea-Bournemouth game that we'd done. Guess what? It was a 4-hour stream because we started by watching the entirety of Aston Villa versus Arsenal. And what happened in that game? Yeah, Aston Villa got a 94th minute winner and Arsenal lost. So there's two circumstances on the table. Prove a point against Bournemouth because of the Leeds game and to rectify that. And on top of that, Arsenal have dropped all points. This is your chance. It's on a plate. And you're playing a Bournemouth team that have lost 4 on the bounce. If I'm not mistaken, they've been winless, I think, in 5 or 6. And then we get to the game and Bournemouth themselves start off bright and then fizzle out. And we don't even show up. We're not even there. Even when Bournemouth started doing nothing with us, because they started the game bright. In fact, they scored in the first 3 minutes, just like we conceded in the first 3 minutes against Leeds. Lo and behold, luckily that goal was ruled out for offside. But after that, what did Bournemouth really do? Not much. I guarantee if this was Leeds again, we would have lost. Bournemouth don't do much. So let me get this straight. We want to try and rectify the Leeds result. Arsenal have dropped points. That's all the motivation in the world you possibly need. Bournemouth fizzle out as the game goes on, and we still don't show up. We're not there. Today wasn't just a bore fest. Today wasn't just a snooze fest. Today was a nothing fest. Do you understand what that means? A nothing fest. There's a snooze fest, which means that you sleep during it, at least you gain something from it, that there's something to do. This was nothing. It was like no fixture took place. Today, there was Aston Villa, Arsenal, and then the rest played, and Man City won, I think, 3-0. Newcastle won as well. Other games happened. This game does not exist. This game did not happen, is basically what happened today. We were not in Bournemouth. We weren't there. If I actually go and try and track the Chelsea team down right now, we're probably still in London. We didn't go to Bournemouth. The Vitality today, no game happened. That is how bad things were today. I feel more hurt today than I did against Leeds. Because against Leeds, we faced a Leeds team where on the day, they really, really, really were up for it. And they were intense and urgent, and they were properly giving us a game. And they took their chances, and they were really there they were really there, literally smelling the blood. Bournemouth today tried to show that intent at the beginning, and then they fizzled, like I said. And we couldn't do anything with that. Which is what's baffling here, and this is why I'm hurt more than the Leeds game. Because the players, today I have to ask, what the hell is going on with all of you? I struggle to understand how players cannot be up for a fixture like this. Like, how can you not want it? Today, it's like the players voluntarily threw it away. I can't blame Maresco the system today. I can't. He actually went with a good team selection. He actually rectified what went down against Leeds. I think he'd actually put everything into place today. But everyone's off. Everyone's off. No one. Man of the match today was Sanchez. Man of the match was Sanchez. And that's Bournemouth doing nothing. And he's still man of the match. That's diabolical. That is actually diabolical. That's really poor. Really, really poor. Today, everyone they looked like they weren't even attempting to try. Not even they tried and they felt. No, they didn't even want to try. They're just there, waiting for the game to end. You know, they were waiting at a bus stop, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't understand. Look, it's very easy to go in the direction of, when you see a performance like this, something's not right. Something's broken in the dressing room. There's an issue going on. They're not playing for the gaffer. But we know that's not the case. This is a unique situation, because if that was the case, we would have got killed against Barcelona and Arsenal would have wrecked us. But we wanted it. We showed up. Everyone was willing. Everyone was giving. Everyone was there. And like I say, against Leeds, we switch off and they're there to pick up the pieces. And then we actually try and get ourselves back into the game. And then we have a stupid mistake that costs us. There's things that we can actually analyze in that game. Today, I can't analyze anything. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Petrovic wasn't worked. We didn't do anything. Any sub we made no difference. No one showed any energy. No one showed any will. Everyone was. It's like everyone was drunk, or everyone was. I don't want to say just not bothered. What's the next layer of not bothered? They don't want to be there. It's like no one really wanted to be there. But I don't understand. It's like we weren't at this game. We weren't there. How can you go from the performances that we saw against Barcelona, against Arsenal, these big games, right? And then we get into these fixtures. And it's not that we played bad. It was non-existent. We didn't play. I don't understand that when we know that there's nothing wrong internally. So what's going on with all of you up here? I don't understand. Why? I mentioned this on stream. I can't think of anything, right? Except for two things. Maresca not giving the license to everyone to just go all out because he's probably scared that if we do, we'll concede. That's maybe one thing. And the second thing is, are these players actually all scared when it comes to this sort of environment? You know, when they play in nice, lavish, top stadiums, right? Or we're at home, we're at the Bridge, it's a big game, we're playing Arsenal, or we're at the Nou Camp, or at the Bernabeu, or at Anfield, or at Old Trafford, or, well, You get the gist. But we're at these stadiums where the games really mean a lot. We have a proper feel for it, and everyone all of a sudden is like, yeah, no, you know what? We don't have anything to lose technically, so we're going to give everything and we're good to go. And then the moment that the expectation is, oh, this is going to be a 3 point, surely. But we show up to a ground like Bournemouth, vitality. It's cold. It's old. It's very, old school, an old school vibe. It's a low stadium. The crowd's right next to you. It's that Sunday league feel. You know what I'm talking about? Like that. When you're playing in the midst of that and you're feeling uncomfortable. Are we scared of that environment? Is that it? I can't think of anything else. I'm plucking at straws here. I'm trying to find something of what the issue is with these games. I can't think of anything except this. Are we scared of these sort of games? Because we can't just switch on and off like a tap. When we play big teams and everyone's on it and putting in the game of their lives and everyone's looking monstrous and then we change it, it doesn't work. We change it again to something more similar, like today, Reece James and Enzo in midfield. Well, we've done that against Arsenal. Reece James had the game of his life. We went to a back four properly. The centre-backs were Fofana and Chalobah. Everything's looking good. Later on, up top, Delap, stinker, comes off. Gu comes on. We've asked for that. Still no difference. Better, don't get me wrong, better than Delap. But Neto played the 90 pretty much. He did. Esteval came on, Neto was shifted over. But whatever we did, it changed nothing. So I'm thinking, why? Because there were moments in that second half, moments where it's like, we're improving, we're going to give it a go now. Nothing. It just all, it's like fairy dust. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not on the elementary chart. It doesn't exist. It's a fugazi. But I don't get how you can show your potential and you can show what you've got and you can really pull it out and collect yourselves as a team and as a unit and put on a performance that everyone can be proud of, and not just one, multiple, in big games. And then it comes to these games and we're like, it's like someone switched us off. We're a bunch of androids or robots or cyborgs, and someone's just gone, that's it. It's exactly that. I don't understand. Cole Palmer today, for him especially. But not just him. Every single pass was dreadful. It looked like his feet didn't work. It's like someone put a curse on us today. No one did anything. Nothing worked. Nothing. One of the worst games I've seen in ages. Without a doubt, this was the worst Premier League game this season. I'm not saying Chelsea. I'm saying Premier League game. This was the worst Premier League game this season. That was a diabolical watch. I think the fans that went to Bournemouth today should be refunded for that, because they didn't even show up to a loss that gave them a match of football. They showed up to nothing. They showed up to look at a wall. I think they would have had more entertainment watching paint dry than watching today's game. Diabolical. A horrible fixture overall. And for Chelsea, absolutely horrendous when you had everything on a plate, like I mentioned, about rectifying the Leeds result, having enough motivation for that. Arsenal losing right before this, you should be going out all guns blazing, going, we're going to kill them, we must get 3 points. No one showed even 1%. So I ask the players, what's wrong with you guys? Do you have it? Do you care? Because the people overall, the fans, are going to look at this and go, no, the players don't care. But I don't believe that, because against Barca we did, against Arsenal we did, against big teams we do. Littler teams, all of a sudden, against Leeds, for example, we bottled it, but at least there's reasoning and there's excuses. Here today, there's nothing. So the fans are naturally going to turn and go, what did you guys even want to play today? But that shouldn't even be a thing for this level, where players don't want to even play when you've got that at stake. I think that doesn't cross my mind. It can't, surely not. If that's the case, you guys should be sacked. Like instantly. You shouldn't belong in the Premier League. You shouldn't belong as a footballer, let alone. I don't believe footballers go onto the pitch in a fixture like this and don't care. That doesn't cross my mind. The collective. If it was 1 or 2 or 3, maybe. The whole team. No, it can't be, surely. So what is it? That's what I want to ask, and I want to let you guys answer that in the comments down below. What's wrong with you lot? Tell us, what's wrong with this team in these sort of games? I don't get it. I don't get it. Because even if it's a case of people are going to maybe turn to experience and turn to ability or turn to quality, but we've shown it in other games. And then games like this where it really have to, we don't. I can't think of anything else except maybe the fear. There's a fear for what I don't know. This sort of environment, I don't know. But I want to ask you guys, let me know down below. And I asked the team, what's wrong with you? End of story. What is wrong with you? We're throwing points out of the window for free. And it's not even that. Today we didn't even show up. Nothing happened. Terrible. Absolutely dreadful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I'll catch all of you tomorrow for more. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're on Shootout as well. More content dropping there. And let me know what you think down below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Give me all of your possible theories. I'd love to know. Because this one stones me. Baffles me. I'll catch all of you on the next one. In a bit. Take care. And peace.